Hello, opinion members. Jacky Blisson here, Master of Wine, and we recently tasted the cellar 313, which includes a bunch of great wines from the Rhône Valley, including some top-tier Châteauneuf-du-Pape wines. So we thought today we'd give you a little bit of an overview of the Châteauneuf-du-Pape appellation. So as I said, we're in the southern Rhône Valley in southeastern France, and this is a very hot, sunny Mediterranean area. Châteauneuf-du-Pape has a really distinctive particular terroir, because when you're walking through the vineyards here, you'll see that they're covered in these amazing rounded softball sized what they call pudding stones, les galets, and these white stones really retain and reflect all of the heat and the sunlight, and so it gives a real rich ripeness to the wines here. So as I said, a very, very hot climate, but there is a cooling factor here. There's these Mistral winds that whip down the Rhône River corridor, which basically give a bit of a cooling effect, so we can retain nice freshness in the wines here. So what are the wines from Châteauneuf-du-Pape? Well, mainly red wines are made here. Either you can have red Châteauneuf-du-Pape and white Châteauneuf-du-Pape, but mainly red wine, and quite a number of different grape varieties. We talk about 13 different grape varieties in Châteauneuf-du-Pape, but if we're actually being technical, there's 22 grapes, because they lump together Grenache as one grape, even though there's Grenache Blanc, Grenache Gris, Grenache Noir. So Grenache, as you might have noticed from my explanation there, is the major grape for red and for white. So Grenache for red wines, blended often, so dominant in the blend, but blended with Syrah, Mourvèdre, Cinsault, and a number of other grapes. And the wines tend to be quite ripe, as I said, almost verging on baked in their aromatics. Red fruit, dark fruit, lots of spice, lots of herbal elements. There's a lot of, in the surrounding areas, there's a lot of garrigue, which is kind of dry, scrubby, a mixture of wild rosemary, thyme, oregano, and you get those little undertones in the wines, which are quite interesting. So really velvety in their character and in their tannins, but broad, bigger wines with nice freshness that gives them their balance. They tend to be oak aged, but quite subtle in their oak aging. So you just get a nice underlying note of spice and of cedar. And these are wines you can definitely lay down. You can drink them young, but you can lay them down for a certain number of years. And there's definitely some interesting wines in this cellar. There's a member's favorite that you should definitely try that scored very well in the tasting, a wine called Les Cigallons, but now they use the full domain name for the wine. So Domaine Berthet Rhône, Les Cigallons, Châteauneuf-du-Pape. Beautiful red wine you should definitely seek out. I'll quickly mention the whites of Châteauneuf, and then we'll talk about some value alternatives if you're not in the mood to splurge so much. So white Châteauneuf-du-Pape used to be kind of an afterthought for a lot of producers, but in the last 20 years, the quality has been soaring. So Grenache, again, the major grape, but white Grenache here, Grenache Blanc, blended with grapes like Clairette, Roussanne, Bourbolinque, a lot of grapes that you might not have heard of from elsewhere. And they tend to make really pretty aromatic wines with a lot of stone fruit, a lot of pretty pear, orchard fruit type notes as well. They tend to be really smooth and rounded on the palate. There's some oaked and unoaked versions, definitely worth trying as well. So if you don't want to splurge all your budget on Châteauneuf-du-Pape, the Southern Rhône Valley has all kinds of levels of different appellations. If you want to start with the best value, sort of everyday great wines, you have the Côte du Rhône tier, which covers basically the entire Southern Rhône Valley. Lovely wines here, again, white, red, also some great rosés. If you want to move up to a midway tier, Côte du Rhône Village is really great. A little bit more concentration than Côte du Rhône, but still great value to be found here. A fun wine to try for you here, Domaine des Romarins. It's a Côte du Rhône village from an area called Signargues, the 2022 vintage. This is a coup de cœur from the cellar. Great value, delicious wine, definitely worth trying. And then if you want to step up, but not quite to Châteauneuf, equally high quality to Châteauneuf, but different styles. There's areas like Gigondas, which is slightly higher elevation on the edge of a mountain range called the Dentelle de Montmirail. So you get more freshness. Often there's a little bit more Syrah in the blend, so you wines with a bit more backbone, a bit more structure, a lot of minty freshness. I love Gigondas. I actually lived there for a period of time, so not biased. Also Vacqueyras. Vacqueyras makes very suave, rounded, pretty wines. That's a very nice area to explore as well. So really a broad range of appellations within the Southern Rhône Valley, but all making very versatile wines that pair with a broad range of foods. I often, when I'm stumped for a wine to serve loads of different people and I'm not sure what everybody's palate preference is, Rhône, Southern Rhône is a great go-to for its versatility, for its bright fruit, for its freshness, and just easy drinking style. So C313, lots of amazing Rhône wines to discover, and I hope you enjoy them all.